everyone. So it is the day after my market. My market was last night from 5 to 8. Like I had explained earlier, it was a trunk or treat. So we had my booth, and then next to it we had a little trunk or treat activity area that my mom and her friend ran. For the most part, my dad helped out, and my mom's friend's husband. So they pretty much ran that while I sold my booth. There would have been no way I would have been able to do both, because there was people constantly in my booth. And by constantly, I mean like multiple kids just grabbing all over everything, being crazy. Sorry, my dog's like hacking. He's probably gonna break in here soon. But yeah, it was crazy. It was only 3 hours, and it was my best market I've had. It was kids galore, so that was probably why. There was a few adults who bought some things, but for the most part, it was all kids. So yeah, I sold 62 things. I estimated, I didn't count beforehand, but I had around 100 plushies. I had a few other random like bandanas and some cup koozie things. I didn't count those, but for plushies I had about 100, and I sold 62, which is crazy. That is double what I've done at most of my markets. Usually I sell around 30. So it was my best market, to say the least. So I will run through everything that I sold and the price that I sold them for. So I feel like, I don't know, listing everything can be kind of boring. I don't know. So you can kind of skip this part if you don't care about each piece, but I said I would do a recap, so we're going to do a recap here. So the first thing I sold was a mini duck and a ghost. I actually had people in my booth before I was even fully set up. I had to like try and be like, hey, I'm not done setting up yet, like nicely. And I'm like, please come back, you know? But this was, I was about to take a video because I had just like set up. It was like, it wasn't quite 5 yet, but people are already walking about. And it was a little girl and her grandma, and they, I think, picked up and looked at every single thing. The little girl had the hardest time deciding. She probably stood there for like 10 minutes looking at every item, but she ended up getting a mini duck and a ghost, and both of those were $10. And then next there was 2 little boys who came up. Maybe a little boy and a little girl, I'm not sure, I don't remember now. But they came up and wanted the squids with the babies inside. They wanted to like see them, and I was like, oh, they have a little baby inside. So I pulled it out and showed them, and then the mom could not get them back. She like was like, okay, let's put them back, you know, or let's get something else, blah blah blah. And she was like, they just wouldn't give it up. So she was like, you know what, we'll get them. And she hadn't even looked at the price or anything. I was like, that's actually one of my more expensive items. I was like, they're $35 each. She's like, oh, it's fine, I don't care. So that was super cool because, you know, that was right at the beginning. I was like, boom, $70. Like that's crazy. And I've had those squids at every single market. So I did have them originally priced at 40, and I dropped them my last market to 35. And my husband was like, you should just drop them even more. You know, you've had them forever. And so as soon as I sold them, I was like, boom, I sold these. You know, because it was right as the event started. It was like 5:01, so it was super funny. So that was cool. Instant boost to your confidence. And then I sold another little ghost for $10. I sold a mini axolotl and mini turtle, both for $15. I sold a chicken for $18, and then the mermaid, that was another grandma that came with a little girl, and she was like, you know, let's go look at everything else and we'll ask your mom and dad. And then like 15 minutes went by and they came back and bought that mermaid. The little girl did not give it up. So it's really funny when the kids are like, you know, they try to get talked out of it, and then they end up coming back because they're like, no, I want it. But I've had that mermaid for a little while as well. But the little girl was so happy. It was so cute. And the mermaid was 30. Another chicken for 18. A mini octo for 5. And then a mini chick and octo keychain for 10. And then the Perkin, the little pumpkin kitty for 25, another chicken for 18, and an axolotl for 15. And that was like a little family. Like the son got the chicken, or got the Perkin, the little girl got an axolotl, and the mom got a chicken. She's like, I can't resist a chicken. And then after that was the mini turtle and the blueberry keychain, and then the octo. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so the octo was one I made out of going up a little bit. I made out of burlap blanket, so I didn't have an $8 bin. I'm gonna put the burlap blanket ones in the $8 bin, but it was like the only item, so I just threw it in with a $10 one. I was like, whatever. So actually it ended up selling pretty quickly for $10. And then I put an octo on a keychain and sold that for $10. And then a ghost keychain for $10, the mini octo for $5, the Gilda ghost, so the ghost of the little witch hat for $18, a little bear mushy ball looking guy for $10, and I've had that one for a little while too. That one will be really cute, I think, in a different color, but all brown. It just wasn't as cute, to me at least. And considering I've had it for a while. And then the ice cream cone for 12, and that little girl picked up the ice cream cone, and it was the first thing she picked up. So usually the kids pick up something and then they end up going with something else. So not usually the first thing they see. But this little girl picked it up and she's like, I want this ice cream cone. And then I'm pretty sure she licked it. So luckily she didn't change her mind, because I'd be like, I can't have that. And then the little brother got an alien. It was cute because he was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, well, here, I got some boy things, you know. I got a little alien. I was like, I got a little frog. So he didn't go with the alien. So the ice cream cone and alien were both 12. Then Pete the pumpkin was 25. And then I made 2 swinging ghosts, and both of those sold back to back. It was funny because I had just rung one up, and I look over and the other one's missing, and I'm like, oh my god, did someone take it? And there was a lady just standing over there, and she was, I guess, just holding it down, and I couldn't see her. I thought she was like a parent. She was like, oh no, here it is. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought someone stole it. But both of those I put for 15. So I think next time I'm debating, because I have a market on the 28th of October. I think I'm just gonna not do any more of the pumpkins. I don't know. It's hard when, like, you know, it's a couple days before Halloween. I don't feel like I should waste my time. I do still have some Halloween stuff left over. But I have a pattern for the same designer that did the swinging ghost. She did some little ducks and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do like one of each of those and bring those. And the way I had them displayed on that shelf, I think looked really good and was appealing. Same with the keychains. I didn't have that many keychains, which was, I guess, a good thing because I didn't have that many hooks. And then after that, I sold the pumpkin pig, and it was a cute little boy. He was, I don't know, probably like 15 months or whatever. He had chosen 2 things, and then he ended up going with the pumpkin pig. I held him out. I was like, which one do you want? Because he just had them both. And then 2 little mini octos for $5 each. Leggy Foggy for 15. Then 2 chickens for 18 each. The Mush Crush big mushroom boy that I have sitting on top of a crate, that actually was bought. My mom's friend bought it for her daughter because her daughter would not stop talking about it the whole entire time. And she was actually like, I'm gonna go see if my mom will buy me this. I really, really want it. I really, really want it. But they end up getting it, and they're saving it for Christmas. So she's gonna be super excited. And if she asks me about it, I'd be like, I'm so sorry, it's sold. Someone bought it at the event after you left. And just, you know, fib to her. I mean, if it's sold, I could have just made another one. It wasn't a big deal. But I went ahead and just pulled it aside and not have to worry about, you know, having a IOU order. And then the little mini Freddy guy sold for 15. Another mini octo for 5, a mini mushy for 10. There's a little mushroom boy. Oh no, those were the baby mushroom boys. So they're like this big. I sell those for 10. The mushy boys I sell for 12. And then another chicken for 18. And I actually had someone at request, they're like, I like the chickens, I don't know what I'd do with it, but if it wasn't a keychain, I'd want it. I told them to reach out to me and I could make them one. Whether they do that or not, probably not. Most people take your card and then you don't hear from them. But I do think I will still make chicken keychains. And who knows, the event I'm doing is another like kid-oriented event in 2 weeks, so she may be at that one as well, because it's like a fall festival, so it's in the same town. One was at like the community center, like the rec area for the youth, and then this one's at the high school, hosted for it's like a benefit, the soccer program. So who knows, she may be there as well. Moro, come here. He's howling at my door now. I don't want him to wake up my son. The door is like not shut all the way, but he can't see in. Moro, come here. I don't know, we'll see. So after that, yes, the chicken, the Leggy Froggy for 15, cactus for 20, the pumpkin turtle for 15, the pumpkin octo for 5. That one I did have priced a little higher, but I had sold out of, oh no, that was a little mini one. Never mind, it's comes later. A fidget pop for 12, the little pumpkin boy for 12, a little bitty fuzzy mallard for 10, another mini octo for 5, a mushroom for 15. So, oh, that was just a basic mushroom, not any faces or anything, that more decor style. Moro, come here. Moro, come. He's not the brightest dog. And then a fidget pop for 12. I don't know why he won't push the door. Moro, come here. Moro. Moro. Okay, so after that mushroom for 15 was a fidget pop for 12, and it was so funny. So one little girl came up, bought something with her own money, like she had a little Ziploc bag and everything, and then the girl comes back again with one of her little friends. And then another, I think that other girl got a fidget pop as well. I think the original girl got a fidget pop. The girl brought her friend back, got a fidget pop. Then they left. And they come back. One of them ended up getting a kitty, I think, or the kitty may have been another person, because next I sold a kitty for 15. Then the 2 girls leave, disappear. And then like a group of like 4 girls come, 5 girls, and the same original girl was with them. And so I ended up selling like 2 more fidget pops. They each wanted one. Luckily I made that many. But it was so funny because they were like, look at us in our mushrooms, and they were like playing with them, you know. And it was just so funny because that would have been me. I mean, they were probably, I don't think they were middle school. They may have been like, I don't know, somewhere between, I'd say 4th grade and 6th grade. I don't know. I can't tell, but it was funny because they kept on coming back. And then one little girl, I guess her mom wasn't there, so she didn't have any money. And like, they were like, let us buy you something. We'll buy you something. She's like, no, don't spend money on me. Don't spend money on me. Like, they hung out my booth for a long time, but they kept coming back and buying something. Another little girl would come. I don't know how many there was, but they had this little girl gang that like took over my booth, and they probably bought, I don't know, at least like 7 things between all of them. They all got something. So, I didn't really care. And then I sold a bee keychain, and then a froggy keychain. The froggy keychain actually was the original little girl's little brother. She brought him over and let him buy something. And I think she came back again and bought him a little mini octo. I don't remember, because there was another girl. She's like, I'm buying this for my little brother. But it was super cute. And then I sold another fidget pop for 12. So I honestly think all the fidget pops were bought by those girls. I don't remember now. It was very chaotic event. And then the little axolotl blob, that was one of those little girls as well. And then a little mini octo for 5. So I actually had sold out of all of my mini octos. And a little girl came up and she had like a $5 bill in her hand, and they're like, do you have anything, or do you have any more of these? And I was like, I don't, but I had like made an octo out of burlap blanket, that shaped I just made it orange, like a little pumpkin, and I had to put it on my $10 booth. Like I said, those would have been $8 if I had enough $8 stuff to put them all together. So I just let her get that for $5 because like, I really don't care. It takes me about the same amount of time. It's a bigger item, so I price it higher. But yeah, she was super excited because I guess she had earned that money and she really wanted to spend it. And then a fidget pop ice cream. And once again, that was one of the little girls. And then an axolotl for $18. And then so after that axolotl for $18, that one was out of Sweet Snuggles. So I priced it a little higher because it was quite a bit bigger than the Parfait Chunky one. And then I sold a mini pumpkin, and that was actually a repeat customer. It was another girl who was older. She may have been 8th grade. I don't know. But she had bought something in the beginning. I don't remember what it was, but she came out a pumpkin and said she bought the pink pumpkin. She's like, it matches my room perfectly. So that's going to look super cute in her room. And then the last thing I sold was a mini whale for $15. I had that priced at $12, but the mom came up. It was actually the event coordinator, and she was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And she was just, you know, the event was ending, and she knew I was packing up. So she's like, oh, don't worry about it. So she just gave me $15. So 62 items for a grand total of, you ready? $864. That is crazy. That is double probably anything I've ever made. Okay, so for my top 3 sellers, I just went and totaled it up, was obviously the fidget pops because of the little girl gang. I think I had 8 total, and I think all I have left are the witch and the pumpkin ghost. So for whatever reason, they wanted, I think because they all were together, they all wanted mushrooms because they all matched, would be my best guess. And then I sold all my little baby octos for $5. I sold 8 out of 8 of those. I technically sold a 9th and a 10th because I sold them for, one of them I did sell them for $5, and then the other one I sold for a little higher. And then the keychain one sold as well. So I had 11 of that octo pattern. And that pattern is in my, but all 3 of these patterns are in my 21 no-sew market prep patterns video, which I can put that in the description. Most of the patterns that sold yesterday were from that video. And then I sold 6 out of 7 chickens. 1 little chicken left. I can't believe they left 1 little chicken. And then of course I brought 3 axolotls. I wanted to make more, and I have a really big one halfway done. I just didn't get to finish it. So I sold 3 out of 3 axolotls. I think once again they would have sold had I had more. But I'm definitely gonna I need to get a few more colors of the Sweet Snuggle. I just like the feel of Sweet Snuggles over a burnout blanket. It just, I don't know, it glides so much better. So I think I'm gonna future buying, I'm gonna try and get more colors of the Sweet Snuggles versus getting more of the burnout blanket. The burnout blanket is just very inconsistent of their feel. The baby blanket ones I think are all pretty soft, but if you get the one that does not say baby blanket, it doesn't feel as soft, and it like makes your hook squeak, and it drives me nuts. I'm making a lovey out of one, and for the loveys I think they're perfect. I actually prefer it. And they're a little bit more durable than the chenille yarn. So it's going to be hard to try and navigate which colors I'll probably keep. And then they work really well for the chickens and all the speckled and tweed prints, which they don't have as much of that in Sweet Snuggles, but I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. But I do like working with it. Thank you so much for watching my market recap video. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks to everyone who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. We're getting so close to 1,000. Whenever I last looked, this is Moro. Come here, Moro. Whenever I last looked, we were at 909. So we're so close to hitting that 1,000 milestone. So yes, please subscribe if you aren't, and give this video a big thumbs up, and comment down below whatever you want. The comments really help me out, and they help other people find my videos. So yeah, let me know what you would have bought, or let me know what you're market prepping. And I just want to share this blanket that I just got in the mail. I said I bought it for my son, but I think I bought it for me. Like, look how cute little mushroom bingo is. Like, isn't that the cutest thing ever? I'm obsessed. And it is super, super soft. So I think I will keep it. I want this as like a wall hanging as well. So cute. But anyways, thanks.